All right, everybody. Sorry, I was just uploading some stuff here, but it's nice to be back. I've decided to just do a live video, and hopefully the audio is not too bad because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. I just got off of work like usual, and I just thought I'd do a podcast about like day to day. A lot of people are like talking to me about how I got fit or how I don't look fit actually. Like for me it's taken 4 or 5 months to even just get to the point where I feel comfortable talking about just my body on a podcast. But yeah guys, I just wanted to talk about it because in my life I've seen that some people think of me getting healthy as like an insult in a way, and some other people take it very inspirationally. I guess I don't know what the right word is for, but I just wanted to talk about, and it's the title of this podcast, of if you're having trouble starting or continuing to do, I put exercise in asterisks because I wanted you guys to pretty much fill in that blank right there. It doesn't necessarily have to be exercise. Like for me it was podcasting. For me it was starting to get my body right, and that to a lot of people seemed to, like, I don't know, kind of tick people off the wrong way. I don't always seem to. Some people just pulled up next to me. So I think right here there's like a bike trail or something, but I'm not really sure. I'm doing this. If you guys don't know what this is right beside me, that is the trunk of my car. So I just popped open the trunk and decided to do a podcast. But yeah, I guess in my life, getting healthy isn't easy. Honestly, I could definitely see why some people quit and really don't continue it at all throughout their life. There's like a huge, I wonder what percentage it is actually that don't continue, of people who don't continue exercise past like high school, because I bet that'd be a big huge number. And I don't know, I think not only does getting healthier come with consequences in good ways, but also like in bad ways. Obviously you're gonna look better, and obviously you're gonna feel healthier, you're gonna get stronger, you're gonna look buffer. But some people get ticked off the wrong way about that, and you have to decide if you don't care about ticking people off. Because I think a huge component into like why people don't get things started or continue things is because they themselves feel like they can't. And that isn't only influenced by themselves, but by everybody else around them. I saw that when I first started exercising, like nobody really gave me a good job or whatever, But now that my body's changing and, I'm starting to look different, it's now people want to join in and congratulate you, and that's fine because you earned it. But the reason I earned something like this is because I saw it in my mind first. And that's what a lot of people need to understand, is that if you see something in your mind and you think it's so clear to you, like it's so vivid in your head, and you think that it's reachable, is because it really is. Whether or not it's achieved is really up to you. And like I said, I just got out of work, if that's any kind of motivation to anybody. But like I said, I just got out of work and I'm really trying to do podcasts, which is what I like to do. And I guess the people that were here are leaving. I don't know what the audio's like. I don't know if you can hear them. They just turned on their car. But that was my point, is that if you're starting something, whether it's exercise or trying to play an instrument, trying to code, whatever you want to do, you have to realize that a lot of your beliefs on whether you want to do it or not are influenced by others and not so much you. You are this vessel that got this idea that is going to bring it to life. But when you have everybody else telling you that you can't, that you should get this, that you should do that, like, it just becomes kind of tough to really get your mind back in order. And I think if you're trying to start anything at all, you have to go in with the idea that nobody's gonna knock me off my path. Sure, you can have days off. Like, here I'm this is my day off, basically. I just got out of work, and it was overtime for me, but I'm just out here, doing a podcast with you guys because I like talking, and I like the idea that I could go through this and help the next person. And back to what I was saying about getting things started, it's like a lot of us don't. I see this in my job, like, so many people have crazy dreams and so many people have like crazy aspirations, but everybody talks about what their plan is, but nobody really puts it into like motion. You can ask anybody like what they want to do in the future, and in that same sentence you can ask them another question of like, what are you doing now to achieve that goal? And most of them don't even know. Most of them are here living like zombies, and I realize that not a lot of people enjoy this so much. And I'm trying to show people that some people actually care about their passions and such, because I realize that when you try, other people around you try. And if you're having a difficult time, like, I'm saying this because I've kind of seen like both sides, which is like the very social side, and right now, which is there's nobody around, it's just me talking into my phone. But this is what I like to do. This is what drives me. And look, there's somebody driving by, just said hi. Let's see if you can see him. One of those scooters. I haven't seen those scooters before. He's got a bike and everything. Fucking RoboCop. But what I was saying is that when I go to work, I no longer just see coworkers. I see people, I see stories I want them to tell me, and I want them to relate or somehow try to help you guys. And today I wanted to focus on my story, or I guess not my story, but like what I struggled with. So in the beginning, when I first started, and you guys know this, that back then there's an episode called the New Year's episode, if you guys want to check it out. That's at the start of the year. I made this proposal to myself that I was gonna just get healthy, and or healthier, I guess. I don't know, I wasn't too healthy, I guess. In a span of 5 months, I've lost like maybe close to 16-17 pounds, and that to me is an accomplishment. And I'll show you guys, if you guys see that episode, I've actually made it a proposal to lose my dad bod. And let me just disconnect the mic. I feel like I have. I'll show you guys. Shit. All right, as you guys can see, I think I've lost my dad bod. I no longer, fuck's sake, I no longer have a gut. My gut's gone. I just need to lose a little bit on the love handles, I think. But progress is progress, you know? Let's see. I don't know. You guys can tell me. I don't know. I think I've been really consistent, more consistent than I've been in a while. And if you guys know anything about me, it's that I am an athlete. You know, in high school, I used to wrestle, and in junior high, I used to play soccer and wrestle. And I don't know. I enjoy being out. Like I said, today's a nice warm day, and we're here enjoying it. I'm showing you my non-dad bod, and hopefully the audio isn't too bad. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So in the beginning, when I first made this proposal of like working out and trying to get healthier, the hardest part for me was trying to go to the gym and give it 100% every day. I could go to the gym, but the thing is, I didn't want to give it 100% sometimes. Or that I would go to the gym, but I would just feel so drowsy and so lazy that I'd be just, you know, getting through the workouts, but not necessarily 100% effort and focus. And I realized that people who lift weights for a living, like Arnold and all these power lifters, I've seen a lot of videos of these. All right, guys, these stand doesn't want to. These are the difficulties of going live. But anyways, so a whole bunch of these bodybuilders, I've been seeing a lot of these videos, and they talk about how you not only have to lift weights, you know, it's more in your mind. You have to focus, and you have to see the muscle move, how it's contracting, how you could go just a little deeper, and it gets a little bit of that more like just focus. And I started doing that instead of focusing so much on how much weight I was doing or how much reps I was going for. I just started focusing on how I can make the rep better. Every rep, I used really light weight, and I would do reps of like 50 to 100. And this is really, really lightweight. You don't want to go heavy, because when you do reps repetitively like this, you want to do 50 consistent good ones. I'm not talking about, you know, you're going to be tired. Sure, your arms are going to feel weak because you've never done 50 to 100 reps before. But if you do really light weight, you'll realize that your body gets more and more accustomed to that weight. And so that just becomes standard. And now as you work out a little more, then you realize you could start doing a little bit more weight. And then you'll realize that your minimum, which the really light weight that you were doing before, just becomes super, super, super lightweight. So you just start increasing the weight, and then still doing those 50 to 100 reps. And now 50 to 100 reps may sound like a lot, but here's the thing. Don't focus on the number so much as you're focusing on the rep. Like I said, the more you focus on what body part you're working out, the more effective it is, because you realize what little kinks you could be fixing, or like where you can position your body a little better. And now another thing that I was struggling with is that I have, because of wrestling, I think, and fucking bugs. But with wrestling and just me being an active dude, an active kid, and I think that my joints got really jacked up. My elbows aren't the same as they used to be, neither are my knees. So doing any kind of like heavy lifting sometimes would hurt my knees. But I didn't realize that this was because I was carrying so much weight, I think. As soon as I started to lose a little weight and get a little stronger, it almost felt like my body was adjusting in ways that it just hadn't before. Like during wrestling, I was really flexible. And so I've never been able to do the splits at all, ever. Or in high school, I always wanted to, but I've never been able to do them. And I've been really trying hard to do the splits for like the last 3 months, maybe 4. And I'm almost there. I'll do it on the podcast when I can do it, but I'm almost there. And like you guys saw, my body's changed, and honestly, guys, my whole mindset has changed. So you best believe I'm gonna be doing that. I'll be doing the split soon. Now back to what I was saying. Another thing I struggled with when I first started exercising was probably the drag. And what I mean by the drag is like the drag of every day, like waking up tired, waking up sore. And it just makes you not want to do it. It just makes you be like, fuck this, I'm taking a day off today. Fuck all y'all. Because you're just so sore and tired and hurt. And especially if you have work. If you have work and you're sore from working out, who the fuck ever wants to work out? And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm a big advocate on how not easy it is. You know, I'm taking my free time to do a podcast, and other people this is their day off. And I had just worked. And if this is what it takes to accomplish anything that I see in my head, then this is what it takes. And I think a lot of us get stuck in this idea of a timeline. Sure, we all want things quick and we all want things easy. Who doesn't, obviously? And I don't know. I think that the reason we get stuck in this idea of I need this right now, or just this really brief timeline that you have on your goals, it's like, for who? Or like, who told you that was the timeline? Things are going to take as long as they're going to take. I don't think there's any way of stopping that. And that's what I'm talking about with like my body. Is at the start of this, in the New Year's episode, you guys remember, I think I talked about how I don't want to work out at all, and how I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm just going to work out and see what happens. And well, this has been the result of what I can do. My face has gotten slimmer, I think. My arms have gotten bigger. I feel healthier. My joints don't hurt as bad, although my knees are cracking a bunch, so who knows what's up there. And yeah, guys, I think that we have a lot of triumphs, and if you want to do something and you want to get something started, it's like, why not start right now? Sure, you're not going to be able to do a lot of the things that you enjoy anymore, but it's like, do you want to fuck off and do things you enjoy? Whatever, it could be hang out with friends, watch a movie, anything that's taking you off of this path that you want to be on. Like, are you going to be the person who wanted to but didn't, or are you going to be the person who did it, and regardless of the outcome, you did it, you know? I don't know where this podcast is going to go or what kind of person I will be in years, but I've been reading a lot on how people manipulate you and how you're influenced a lot. Like, a lot of who you are, I don't know if you guys know this, but if a lot of who you guys are really depends on your environment. You are basically an outcome or a sum of everybody around you. And Here's the tough thing for a lot of people to understand is if you want to make any change at all, or if you want anything to change at all, it really all just starts with you. All it starts with is not waking up late tomorrow, or going to the gym today, signing up with a membership. Sure, a lot of things that you're gonna have to do are fucking scary as fuck. Like, I don't want to be out here filming a podcast, you know. I have goals onto where I want to be, but if this is how it has to get started, this is how it has to get started. You know, I just saw some fucking Terminator dude on a scooter, and I was able to share that with you. A lot of people don't get out. A lot of people don't do a lot of the stuff that you think normal people do. There's so many people out here struggling every day. I see this at work, and I see this in my day-to-day life. Like, a lot of people are just hurt and broken, and they have their own things going on, and a lot of people are just so damaged that their mindset can't be affected anymore. Like, they think that they have to stay a certain way just because everybody's told them they have had to stay a certain way, and they've seen nothing different. One of the things I was reading, it said that people who tend to be narcissists, or who think that breaking down people... All right, here's what I read said. It said that a lot of people who are narcissists, a way to identify them is because they tend to guilt you, or kind of force their thinking onto you. Gaslighting, I guess you could call it. And this goes back to what I said, is that a lot of people are narcissists, and a lot of people have been hypnotizing and brainwashing you into thinking that a lot of stuff is not possible. But you even being here, that should be something. A lot of us come from really abusive backgrounds, and a lot of us come from really bad childhoods. Not that mine was bad, but I remember in elementary, if you would talk to any kid, they never had the life that you had. There was always like, my dad hits me, or I don't live with my dad, or oh, we just live over there in that shitty house. Like, you never know. This is what we forget as we grow older, is that we become more routine and day to day. That we forget that so many people have struggled, honestly. And if you think about your life, I bet you've struggled in ways that nobody imagines, or you don't even tell anybody. And for me, one of those struggles 6 months ago, was not being as healthy as I could have been, I guess. But now that I'm changing that, like I said, I feel much healthier. I've started to change. Another thing that I've been trying to implement more into my life is getting to know people. And here's the draining part about that, is when you get to know people, you'll realize that nobody asks you how your day was. If you go up to someone and say, how's your day? And they go into it about detail, they don't give a fuck about what you think. You know, they're not going to finish the sentence with, oh, but how was yours? They're going to just wait for your response and pity them. Or a lot of people just want to be listened to, is what I'm saying. And I realize that although this is draining, this is where you get all these stories, and this is where I get all these conversations with you guys, is that as draining as it is, and as much as you don't want to be involved in people's bullshit, is that sometimes people need that. Sometimes people just need a friend, and sometimes people just need someone who will listen to them. And so if you can't be this person, then why do you expect any of that to happen to you? You know, like, if you're genuinely trying to improve, like in my example, I'm trying to go to the gym. I've had conversations there. I'm trying to do so much overtime at work, as much overtime as possible. I've met so many people there. It's like, It just never ends. If you think of it as just day to day and routine, then that's what it's gonna be. But I think of every day, or at least I try to. You know, we're all human. It all gets repetitive. But I try to think of every day as a new kind of adventure in of itself. Like, I'm gonna meet these new people. And a lot of us, like it or not, I'm gonna say some hard truth, is that a lot of us don't want to be social or are shy because we genuinely just don't want to be social. Like, it's tough. I'm not saying it's easy talking to somebody. If you are a shy person and you're having trouble with, like, keeping a conversation or even starting one, it's like you're gonna be the silence of the room. You have all these stories, and like I said, like I told you, so many people just care about talking about themselves. So if a simple "how is your day" can start a whole conversation, a whole life-changing journey that you don't even know. I've met people whose parents died. I've met people whose friend just got shot yesterday. I've met people who've worked in prisons. I've met people who've, you name it. And had I been this person that I was in junior high or in high school, this shy little, arrogant dude who honestly was just confused. Like, a lot of people tend to forget who they were back then. And honestly, to my high school self and to my younger self, I wish I could just hug him and tell him, like, I get you, dude. Like, I'm sorry that I was not this mature or that my mind was not where you needed it to be. Because I think that if I had this instilled mindset when I was in high school, I would have said fuck off to high school, honestly. Because I would have been trying to find new ways to do stuff. But I graduated. And honestly, guys, I wouldn't be this person had I not gone through what I gone through. I have a 4-year-old kid. I recently went on this trip to Universal Studios in California. I was thinking of doing a video there, and I really wanted to, but with a 4-year-old son and family trip, it's kind of tough. But everything went great, and the place was awesome. We went because we wanted to see the Super Nintendo Land World place. And honestly, guys, it's like exactly like the game. It's awesome. Everything you guys thought. My son was super excited. But the reason I brought that up is because I saw this trip differently. I saw this as in, like, now I have a son who I get to experience things with, This trip wasn't about me. It was about making my son laugh or making my son smile, making my son see Mario for the first time. That's what this trip was about. Not no longer for my enjoyment. Because, like I've said, I've put in so much time and effort to the things that I want to do that I just enjoy the simple things now, like seeing him laugh. And my whole family planned a trip, and it was awesome. And this is another thing I wanted to talk about. You guys, when you guys are starting something or even struggling to continue with something, whatever it is, exercise, music, school, you guys need to take a mental reset. Today, right now, or tomorrow, whenever you want, the sooner the better. You have to take a mental reset, and that's what I did. I put everything into categories. What do I want to achieve? Well, I want to do more podcasts. How do I do that? Do more podcasts. I want to get healthier. How do I do that? Go to the gym. Fuck, I don't want to, but shit, that's what I have to do. I don't want to go to school, but I want to get smarter. So what do? I start reading books. I start talking to people. I start learning things, and this is the sum of basically taking control of what I want to do. And I realize it's lonely, like it is here. And I realize that it's going to take a lot of hard work, and there's baby steps involved. But if someone's going to try for my dream, then it's going to fucking have to be me. And I wanted to talk about something else as well. It's like, I'll stand out here. I feel like standing. My ass is tired. But another thing I wanted to talk about, most of us don't take time to kind of just enjoy what's around us. You know, like, think about it. You're out here seeing mountains. There's people who are blind. There's these two blind people at work, and I don't know. I see them every day, and they're all holding on to each other with their little stick, and I look at that and I'm like, God damn, dude, it could be worse. Like, I'm enjoying talking to you guys. This is us. We're talking. But, like I said, this is what a lot of people don't realize and a lot of people don't see, is that there's hurt and there's pain all around us. And if we can just do anything or one thing, any small thing to change that, it could be that little thing could change your life forever. And like I said, I'm going to keep continuing this whole fitness and just seeing where it goes. I want to show all you guys my progress, and I will be doing that. I've started, I think there's 4, maybe 6 or 7 episodes now. This is episode 30. This is a milestone, honestly. This is 30 episodes. I'm going to actually check it out. I'm going to check out what episode 10 was. I have my trusty handy dandy iPad here. But I'm going to check out what my 10th episode was, because I'm curious. And like I said, these are little triumphs. I never thought I would get to episode fucking 1, you know? At the start of this, it was always what ifs. What if it didn't work? What if it doesn't take off? What if this? What if that? Like, it was scary. Starting a podcast is scary. But now that I'm standing out here in the open, doing a live, it's like, how bad can it get? You know, I'm out here. How bad can all this go? If this is my dream and this is what I have to do and this is where it starts. Like, if I'm going to tell my son one day the podcast I used to do and the shit I used to talk about, then this is where it's gonna start. But my trusty handy dandy iPad is not working, so that's nice. Regardless, it's been 30 episodes. In those 30 episodes, I have graduated high school. I have had a kid. I've gotten this back up and running. I've put out more content than I've ever have, I think, in the span of the time my podcast has been. In this past 5 months, I've put out more work than I have in the past. At least more consistently, anyways. And it's crazy, guys. Now, so many shit has changed. So much shit has evolved. My son is no longer a baby. My friends are no longer existent, like I've talked about before in previous ones. Pretty much, this is the start of something new. I don't know what it is yet, but I know that me standing out here and talking to you guys today in a form that I never thought possible, taking off my shirt in front of you guys, being open with you guys, talking about my past, talking about everything. It's crazy. It makes me happy that so many people, as shitty as some people could be, especially like in my life. And if you guys are wondering what like this number is, it's my son's birthday. But like I said, this makes me happy. And you know, hopefully soon we could get more people on here. And as these fucking crazy plans that I have in my head, I'm thinking of finding a podcast studio, and I'm gonna manifest it. I need to find a podcast studio, so I'm gonna manifest it here, and we'll see where that goes. And let's end it off with something good. So if you're struggling with starting something, and if you're struggling with day to day trying to better yourself, a good way to start and something healthy to do is just accept the fact that you've been manipulated into thinking that you can't. There's ways that you can better that. If you feel like somebody's attacking you in a way that is making you not succeed, then just simply drop this person. This person's no good to you. Now you may be asking me, or now you may be thinking, well, that shit is tough. And yes, it is. Dropping somebody that you've been with, or dropping somebody that you feel is you're so attached to, is that, here's the thing. A lot of us are healers. And not healers as in like we know how to heal ourselves, but we want to heal others. And this is what you guys don't understand, is that a lot of people take advantage of that. Not that they want to, or not that they mean to, it's just that this is just their nature. They have not understood that people can fuck up and people have flaws. These are people that don't understand that. Sure, you might have not gone to the gym a year from now, but you can go today. You can play an instrument today. Like, why not start? Like, this time you're spending on your phone, or this time you're spending, the time you spend outside of work should provide, I think, one of three things. I think either joy, sadness, or some kind of excitement. Now, what I mean is, by one, joy. If you enjoy what you do outside of work, then obviously it's good. Now, what I mean by joy outside of work is like, take a time to realize what you like to do. Do you like to have friends? Would you like to start hanging out and going to the park? Like, why don't you go to the park? Why don't you just start any class you want? You're going to meet friends there, obviously. You're going to see people that are interested in the same things you're interested in. So it's just taking that jump, really, because if you figure out how to tell your life in a certain way, you realize you're not that boring. A lot of people are not boring. Most people are not boring. And let's move on to number 2, sadness. And I think sadness is important because it makes you realize how good it could be, and how good it was, and how good it could have been, but now you're here. Is that without these sadness parts outside of work, and what outside of work, I mean on your regular day-to-day life, obviously, is these moments really make you who you are. Because if you're going to be the type of person who gets hurt and reacts to it negatively, it's like you just kind of proved whoever you were trying to disprove right. So many people want to take advantage. Oh shit, there's RoboCop. He passed again. But anyway, so many people want to take advantage of you, and you got to realize that in this pain you grew. You're not the same person that you were. You've done things that you didn't even think were possible, probably. If somebody told you your whole life, you'd be like, damn, I did do that. Damn, we were that broke. Damn, I did used to eat out of the trash. Damn, whatever it could be. And one of those damn moments is, for me, is like, damn. Or at least just recently was like, damn. Now I'm taking my 4-year-old son to a trip. And I remember going to trips as a kid, and just how excited it made me as a kid. Like I said, that reset me. That really put things into perspective, and it made me think of, that's what I want. I want more happiness for my kid, and I want more life experiences, so that not only I have some kind of understanding as to where I want my son to go, but also some kind of understanding as to what I want to leave, not only to him, but to everybody else around me. And now, number 3 is excitement. if you're excited to do things, then number one becomes easy. And now, obviously, if you're excited to do something, so many people are going to try to bring you down, but you can't let them. I think in my life, at least, so many people, I think I listened to more negatives than I ever did positives. But I think that was a good thing, because now I see how easy and fragile your mind really is, and just how strong it could be when you decide to change it. And that's what I'll leave you guys with today. It's been a good live video. I just decided it's a nice day, so I'll do an outside one. Like I said, I'll continue to get healthier, and I hope you guys keep watching. Follow the Spotify. I'm trying to do something on there, so if you could, please, that would mean a lot. Go follow the Spotify. I'm on YouTube. This will be up shortly on YouTube. I have another episode coming out on YouTube that fucking has been giving me a pain in the ass uploading. And yeah, I'm gonna keep doing these live videos are gonna be more frequent and more often, because I don't know, I guess they're good practice for me, and they give me some kind of insight as to what's going on. And well, it's been a nice day, and I hope you guys enjoy and do whatever you guys were gonna do. If you guys have goals, and you guys know, if you guys have dreams and you guys see things possible in your head, don't ignore them, because if you do, in 10-20 years, what are you gonna tell your kids? What are you gonna do? And it's true, it's risky and it's scary, but so is not trying. So I guess I'll leave you guys with that. See you later, everybody. Have a good one.